AWC
in the house. What an introduction.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
How you doing, Adam? You right, Adam?
Tonight Show intro. Thank you very much.
It's an awkward one today, obviously, with the result, guys, because
Because you got a boner? Like, what's awkward about it? What's going on here?
No, it's awkward that we like the decisions that were made that absolutely ruined their evening. You know what I mean?
No, for sure.
And the position that we're in now at the table, we could have been those extra 2 points up, and it's all down to really, really atrocious.
Did West Ham jump ahead of us?
Yeah, we got 2 games in
Are they
hand.
ahead of us now?
I believe so, because they won. But we got 2 games in hand.
So we're in
Yeah.
6th.
Right, that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Doesn't look as good.
Yeah, we are 6, just above United. So yeah, I mean that's incredibly frustrating because they're like for me it's 2 things. It's an absolute disgrace to not have allowed Doherty's goal, but also I just feel like
Doherty's goal.
Yeah, well Doherty's the one who healed it in when.
Did it come off Doherty's leg?
I thought it did.
I think it comes off the keeper in the end.
Oh, did
It was an own goal, yeah.
It would have been amazing if it came off Doherty. That would have been just fantastic.
I'm fairly sure he tried to claim it anyway, but
Probably.
no, but
yeah, for sure.
At
He
the end of
did,
the day,
yeah.
it went in after it went through the keeper's arms, and it should have definitely stood. So that's a disgrace. But then I also think that it doesn't matter what game I'm watching, whether it's Spurs or not. I get really frustrated when the decision with VAR is marginal as far as offside is concerned, and Harry Kane being where he was, it's like he had no advantage whatsoever. Why do we have the offside rule? It's not to be nitpicky. The offside rule is so that you don't have people hatching in the opponent's box.
Yeah, hanging, yeah.
Yeah, we say hatching in Ireland, but okay, hanging. So yeah, it's really frustrating that when that's not what Harry Kane is doing. He's literally basically directly in line with the last defender, and he doesn't get to to keep his goal. It's really annoying. But I tell you, it's something else that really annoyed me as well in the game is that I've been saying for ages that Brian Hill could play left wing back, and he finally comes on as a wing back. And where does he play? On the feckin' right. I don't understand. It doesn't make any sense.
Feckin' right.
Why do you not switch the 2 of them? Like Doherty was definitely struggling out there on the left because every time he had so many shots on goal and he was trying to hit them with the outside of his right foot. He can't do it with his left.
How do you explain that?
Yeah, I didn't understand it. It made no sense. Maybe he just wanted Gil. The only thing I could think of, he wanted Gil cutting inside. I don't know, but it made no sense to me. It would have been perfect for have Gil on the left, Doherty on the right. They can put in crosses in. They look more comfortable on that side. Gil, by the way, came as a left winger, so he's much more. He came to Spurs playing on the left. He wasn't coming to Tottenham as a player who cuts inside and goes on the inside. So it didn't make any sense to me, especially in this scenario as well, when they're getting all their defenders back, and you need that width, don't you? Because that's where the space is, and you need quality on the wide areas because we kept cutting inside and going into traffic every time. And so I didn't understand it. I thought I was the same as you. I was like, okay, Hill's going to come on the left. This makes perfect sense. But he kept it with Doherty on the left. I was like,
Hill showed that he had.
Wing backs.
Yeah, it didn't make sense.
Hill showed that he had the pace to beat a guy to the byline, because that's actually what he's been known. That's why we were interested in him. That's what everyone talks about. That he does this brilliant little kick he gets to the byline, and he's that classic winger that crosses it back. And he had that opportunity and he did it. On the right, but it's like then his cross was so weak because you can see his right foot's so limp compared to his left. It's like just flip them across.
Yeah,
it didn't make any sense at all. Now, I'm not one to question Conte. I've been saying in Conte we trust all this time. So I think he did make a mistake at that point. But the fact of the matter is, we should have won that game regardless because we were robbed.
Do you think, Adam? Do you think the lineup was a mistake? The first half lineup.
I don't in the sense that you do have to rest players. He rested Sonny for a while in the last game, and he only came on for 30 minutes. Obviously, this is tactical. We don't have a very strong squad. A lot of them are incapable. Even Tanguy can't even play 90 minutes. Do you know what I mean? So
he's still in a food coma.
Yeah. Yeah, so you do have to make sure that you're rotating players, that you're resting guys, and I think that was the intention going into this game. Give Moura a little bit of a break. So I I don't question him on that. I think the only thing that I think is crazy was the wing back situation, and then we would have won the game. We would have absolutely won the game if the referee wasn't.
You don't think Dele should have gone off at 45 minutes?
Maybe, yeah, maybe there's an argument to be made for making a halftime sub, sure. But I definitely, I think resting Mora for the first half was a good idea, just given that you got to do it, you got to rotate, and.
But you're the manager. You've got Brian Hill, who's shown that he's pretty decent in defence, but he's really good as a left winger. You've got him sitting on the bench. You've got Matt Doherty sitting on the bench. Reggie's he's played a lot. You turn around, you look at the two of them. You're telling me you pick Matt Doherty for left wing back, or you put Gil, who can easily adapt to that role.
But dude, Brains, this is what I said this, it might have been 6 months ago, Sim, I don't remember, but like it was, I was saying Brian Hill for left wing back for a very, very long time. So I'm just absolutely astounded at the decision that was made today. I literally thought I was going to be coming on here after the match and saying, you see?
Because I genuinely think that Brian Hill might have got a goal, and if
could
he
have done something
left wing back. I think in those positions he was in, and fair enough, credit to Doherty, the situation that Gill was in at the end of the game, Doherty might have got a good shot on goal for that one, because it would have just been perfectly on his right foot.
On the other side, exactly.
Yeah.
This is the really, really strange thing. I think for all Doherty's fumblings today, he put in a better effort than
he was in the game, right? He was like,
he was getting chances.
Things.
He was doing
making things happen. He wasn't in any way bad. Like I would look at there. I just think like maybe he would have just been better used on the left. He wasn't. He, in no way was Doherty like a negative today. Like I thought he did a lot of good stuff.
I think he did the best he could do on the left hand side, personally. But he just but it just wasn't probably good enough. But Adam, what do you in terms?
The ball with the outside.
Yeah, exactly. And but in general, apart from the VAR decisions, did we create enough to win that game in the second half, or were we unlucky, or did you feel like maybe there was a lack of quality there?
Again, with the fact that I did feel like resting the players was, it wasn't a bad decision, but it did leave us a little bit with a little bit less creativity, because Mora has been doing so much of that heavy lifting for us. I did say the last time I was on with you guys that I think of everybody, Mora has improved the most under Conte, and I think he was 2 assists and a goal for him in the last game. So him not being there, it's got to come from somewhere else. Now, I can't believe I'm saying this, but for me, Harry Winks was the man of the match, and he was literally he was pinging balls in all over the place. The problem I have at the minute is that Son and Kane, a lot of their touches today were so poor. Kane is doing an amazing job. His passes are exceptional, but when someone is passing the ball to him, pinging the ball up front for him, the amount of times that the ball would hit the back of his heel and he wasn't taking it down right, and Sonny as well. I love Sonny bits. I've got Sonny on the back of my jersey, but his touches were not great. So I don't even think it was a creativity thing. I think it was just in the final third, because those are the two that should be putting the goals away, and unfortunately, so many times their touches were really, really bad.
And Conte blamed that. That's exactly what Conte said. Actually, he said that fatigue, playing 48 hours in difference is what probably led to poor decision making or poor touches in the final third. So
because you don't have backups for the forward line. You don't have someone else this is why we need another big player. You can see it was coming for ages. The last 3 or 4 games, even though Son scored goals because he is a world-class player, his touch has let him down so badly in the last few games. And then, in the second half today, Kane seemed to be kind of off the pace. The interesting thing was the biggest chance of the game in the end was a great assist for Doherty, threw ball to Lucas, and it hit off his knee and just went long. And anyone in that position, you think, you want Lucas there, and it hit off his knee, and the chance went begging. But that was how good would that have been?
So there were chances there for us, weren't there?
There were, and this is what I'm saying. The strange thing, I can't again, I hate these words coming out of my mouth, but Harry Winks was the creative player today. He was pinging balls consistently forward that were on the mark, on the money, the vast majority of the time. So like, there was plenty of opportunities that went squandered, to be honest. And you know, I'm still incredibly optimistic as having Conte as the manager, steadying the ship, improving everybody. I don't feel. I think that's why I'm saying it's bittersweet. I still feel like we're a strong team, only getting stronger. But it was 2 points dropped today.
But you know, for me, like, and I hate putting a kind of drop point game or losing of games on one player, but I don't know if Dele Alli can hide, because he doesn't clear the ball. It hits off his head, shoulder, roll, and then he doesn't follow up. He kind of stands flat-footed, and then he rushes to the ball. But he's given a phenomenal player way too much time. Ward-Prowse, that ball takes a bounce, and then he hits it perfectly. But why has he got that time to do that? You know, he's hit it first time, but it's bounced, and he's had a chance to get to it. Dele didn't react well, so you've got the problem there. That goal has been lost, in my opinion, because of Dele, and then he's done nothing in the game at all for the 60 minutes he's played. I think if he isn't there today, we win that game.
The appropriate position for me. I keep getting abuse for saying this in the comments, but for me, Dele Alli is the replacement whenever we need to take off a striker. Because Dele's, if the ball comes long to Dele, he can, those little flicks, those little touches, can get around the last defender.
Yeah.
He's done it so many times.
They're a number. Yeah, they're a number 9 thing. They're not a 10 or a wing. Yeah, they're a number 9. Yeah.
Right. So I feel like, why is he not the one that's being played up front in the lesser games, or when we need to give Kane or Son a rest? He should be playing in one of the front two.
Yeah.
I honestly believe that. Now, I wouldn't argue with someone saying that no, we should just sell him either. But I'm saying, like, as we don't have other front options, Dele is the guy, because he is the one that will have that cheeky little flick, get around the last defender, and whack and on target.
Yeah.
You know, especially given more game time doing that. So I don't think that he of everybody, he's not being given an opportunity to shine at his best, because he's not being played in his ideal position.
Adam, can you challenge for top 4 if you have players like this in your team? If you're playing a lot, the congestion isn't going to stop. We have games in hand. The congestion's only going to get bad for a while. Doesn't this reframe how we look at going forward? Like, we've got games in hand, and you're like, oh yeah, it's only Sunderland, it's only these guys, it's only Leicester. We just kind of dropped points to Southampton. You know, so it's like, does this change the way you look at going forward? Can you challenge for top 4 with a Dele Alli getting game time, with Doherty, you know, with a kind of, with having to play Højbjerg every game and having to rely on kind of, you know, like players who are not world class when you have to go and chase a game? Can you challenge with that?
I think it is possible if Conte learns from, if we're not, you know, being ridiculous in what we're saying here, just commentating, if he learns all the same things that we think that we understand from the game, like he should be playing Doherty. If Doherty was playing right wing back and he was getting further forward, he probably would have had a stormer today, potentially.
Yeah.
He can rotate Winks, Skip, and Højbjerg. You know.
Yeah.
And so there are other options. He can play Dele Alli as a centre forward. There are other ways of strengthening the team. But we also have to remember we're 4 days away from a transfer window. So, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if he wanted to hold on to it.
But we're not 4 days away from getting players. We're 4 days and a month away from getting probably 2 or 3 players, when we probably need 5 or 6.
I don't think, you're right, but I don't think we get all those players on deadline day. I think that I'm fair, from what we've seen in the media, it looks as though the Kezier deal is almost ready to just roll immediately. So I wouldn't be surprised if we saw him coming into the team early, especially if Conte insists on it. Do you know what I mean? Because I would imagine Levy trusts him more than anyone he's ever had under him, working under him before. So I can see, I'm not saying we'll get all of our transfers done early, but I'd imagine there's massive potential for one. And again, it's learning from these kinds of games and going, okay, I understand my players better. I understand where I should be playing them better. I can work with what I have. There's no person more capable of working with that team than Conte, and I think
definitely true.
We are to be able to have taken the game to Liverpool the way we did, Today was just there's we have to accept that there was just a massive element of misfortune today with the fact that some decisions went really, really poorly.
Yeah, it's going to happen. You're gonna drop points. And Southampton are not a bad team. They've got some good players. They've got grit. Like Sim was saying, when a team goes down to 10, you back up, you get in line, and that's actually inspires you to fight. And that's what's happened.
My immediate reaction after I can't remember the player's name, but when he got the red card, my immediate reaction was, this is probably not good for us, even though we're getting the penalty now, and obviously Kane's going to put that away. My immediate reaction was, now they shut up shop and we come away with a draw.
Yeah, because the best thing about Southampton when you play against them is how open they usually are. They usually play with a lot of risk. And as soon as they go down to 10, all that risk disappears. They shut up shop and, as you say, they defend. And if we was 1-1, 11 on 11 going to the second half, they're still coming out. They're still trying to attack, aren't they? They're still going to try and go for another goal. And that would probably leave more space for us. So it probably did hurt us, actually, that they went down to 10 in a weird way.
And they were playing with a 3 at the back as well, so we could have exploited them on the wings more if they were coming forward and we were able to get around them, but that didn't happen, and so we were in the position of we got to say that especially in those last 20 minutes we were battling for that last goal. We were battling for to put it to bed. It wasn't as though they sat back and did nothing. There was so many attempts on goal. We were really, and it was just sometimes you don't have to rub the green. And again, that stupid referee making those decisions. So it wasn't our day today. But
are you happy about Kane 3 games? Oh my god.
Is Kane back? Is he back?
I'm sorry, we're seeing an image. I'm not sure if anyone else can see it, but it's absolutely class. It's pure class. But you might not be able to see that. Are you seeing it now? Are you seeing that?
Coming soon to Tottenham TV.
That's got to be the thumbnail for Andrew's clipped up part. But
if you think about it, rather than selling a Winks and Deli, you sell a non-belly, you're going to get significantly more money. That could pay for the entire campaign going forward in the second half of the season.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask you if you were happy about the kind of the what we're going to talk about is obviously the 1-1. That's the kind of headline. But Kane's 3 games, 3 goals. Like, are you happy with that? Kane being back?
Yeah, I think at this stage, he's definitely got his scoring boots on. Like I said, I do think his touches at the moment are
his finish for the second goal that's what you want. That is what you want.
Superb. Yeah, exactly. So I do think, is it it's 3 games in a row now where he's putting one away, even though he's been denied. Yeah, I'd say Kane is back. I would just say that
you still need someone to give him a bit of time off here and there. We still really need. I think you bring a Vlahovic in or someone big, a world-class player in there, and they can all play together, but also they can give each other a bit of time. Like the fatigue thing, can you imagine being Kane right now and Son? It's kind of not really right, to play these amount of games, to start every single game, to not be able to take a break. You get 30 minutes off and that's it. That's your rest period. It's kind of insane.
And I've thought since the summer that it's also very toxic to have a mentality in the team where you have to rely on one player. We're not the Harry Kane side. There's a few other different podcasts that I watch where they're talking about it's the Harry Kane team, and these are Spurs players. I'm like, lads, you are embarrassing yourselves because we're not the Harry Kane team. As much as he has done a serious amount of heavy lifting, we're Tottenham Hotspur. It needs to be to be very clear to all the players that you don't rely on Harry Kane. You put in 110% when you go out there, and you're not just looking for him. You're looking to do your best. But
Adam, when you haven't bought world class in every position on the field, and you're only really relying on Son and Kane, it's gonna end up being that, And then when
But we also have don't discount the fact that Hugo Lloris is still world class as well. It's not as though we only have 2 world class players. We have 3 world class players, potentially Højbjerg as well, if you want to account for the fact that he was rated number 100. So there are other world class players there, So
Where
to
was
kind
it?
of
Where
just
was
put all
Grilic,
the
Kessie,
emphasis on
and Vlahovic in the top 100?
I don't know. I didn't see it, actually. I didn't see. I don't have the whole 100 memorized, unfortunately.
You'd imagine that Vlahovic would be in the top 20, having the goal to game ratio he's got right
I
now.
wouldn't be that high just
You
yet.
don't think
though.
so?
Not just yet. Not just
Breaking
yet. It'll be pretty
the
high,
Serie
though.
A record for goals in a calendar year.
Yeah, but it was
Probably need to have a lot more experience. To be able to
that's what I think.
Most likely, yeah.
Anyway, Adam, look, it's good to see you as always, my friend. Got
Likewise,
plenty of
guys.
other guests coming on, but look, great contributions as always, mate.
If Adam's gone, I'm gone. That's it.
That's it. Brains is off. Brains is off.
In a sec.
Nice one, man. Well, look, Adam, always good to see you, and we'll see you
Great to see you guys.
after hopefully the next game. Hopefully a win.
Absolutely. Absolutely. God bless. Come on, you Spurs.
Oh, what's going on? I think he's just unplugged the headphones. One sec. There you go. All right, nice one. See you soon, Adam.
Come on, you Spurs.